Next, Specification 8 asks us to describe the menstrual cycle in terms of the development and release of an egg and the changes in the uterine lining. Now we will explore this process, which marks the start of a female's reproductive maturity and sets the stage for motherhood. The menstrual cycle involves the ovary, where an egg develops and matures, the uterus, where the lining prepares for a possible pregnancy, and the fallopian tube, which carries the egg toward the uterus. The endometrium, or inner lining of the uterus, undergoes cyclical changes, thickening to support a potential embryo and shedding during menstruation if fertilization does not occur. So, let's first define menstruation. Menstruation is the regular shedding of the inner lining of the uterus along with blood and other materials through the vagina. This occurs when a fertilized egg does not implant in the uterus. Menstruation is a natural monthly process in females in which the uterus sheds its thickened lining. It happens because a released egg is not fertilized, so the uterus no longer needs the extra tissue. The menstrual flow, consisting of blood and cells from the lining, usually lasts between 3 and 7 days. Menstruation marks the start of the menstrual cycle, which prepares the female body for possible pregnancy each month. This cycle is regulated by hormones, mainly estrogen and progesterone, which control the thickening and shedding of the uterine lining. Regular menstruation is an important sign of reproductive health and sexual maturity in females. Next, we look at the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is defined as the regular, repeating series of changes in a female's reproductive system that prepares the body for pregnancy. It involves the development and release of an egg from the ovary and the thickening and shedding of the uterine lining if fertilization does not occur. The menstrual cycle begins with menstruation, when the thickened lining of the uterus breaks down and is shed because no fertilized egg has implanted. After this, an egg in the ovary starts to grow and mature. As the egg develops, the lining of the uterus thickens and becomes rich in blood vessels, preparing a suitable environment for a potential embryo. Around the middle of the cycle, the mature egg is released from the ovary in a process called ovulation. After ovulation, the ovary continues to maintain the uterine lining in readiness for implantation. If fertilization does not occur, the thickened uterine lining breaks down, starting a new cycle. The cycle usually lasts about 28 days but can range from 21 to 35 days in different females. The menstrual cycle can be divided into 4 main phases. Firstly, the menstrual cycle begins with menstruation, which lasts from day 1 to day 5. During this time, the thickened lining of the uterus breaks down and is expelled through the vagina because no fertilized egg has implanted. Following menstruation is the follicular or preparation phase, which occurs from day 6 to day 13. During this phase, an egg in the ovary begins to grow and mature. At the same time, the lining of the uterus thickens and develops additional blood vessels, preparing a suitable environment for a potential embryo. Around day 14, ovulation takes place. The fully mature egg is released from the ovary and enters the fallopian tube, which is the period when fertilization is most likely to occur. After ovulation, the luteal or secretory phase begins and lasts until the end of the cycle. The uterine lining remains thick to support possible implantation. If fertilization does not occur, the lining breaks down, signaling the start of a new menstrual cycle. This diagram illustrates the menstrual cycle, showing the monthly series of changes a woman's body undergoes to prepare for a possible pregnancy. In this standard 30-day model, the cycle is divided into 4 main phases. The first phase is menstruation, which lasts from day 1 to day 6. During this time, the lining of the uterus, or endometrium, breaks down and is shed through the vagina, marking the start of the cycle. This is represented by the red section in the diagram. Next is the follicular phase, from day 7 to day 13. Hormones such as FSH stimulate the ovaries to develop follicles, each containing an immature egg. Eventually, one dominant follicle matures. Rising estrogen levels cause the uterine lining to thicken again, preparing a suitable environment for a potential embryo. This phase is shown in blue, highlighting the growth of the follicle. Ovulation occurs around day 14 to 15. A surge in luteinizing hormone triggers the release of the mature egg from the follicle into the fallopian tube. This is the most fertile period of the cycle, illustrated in green on the diagram, showing the egg being released. The final phase is the luteal phase, which lasts from day 16 to 30. The ruptured follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, which secretes progesterone to maintain the thickened uterine lining for a possible pregnancy. If fertilization does not occur, the corpus luteum degenerates, progesterone levels fall, and the cycle begins again with menstruation. This phase is represented by the yellow or tan section, highlighting the corpus luteum and the uterus preparing for the next cycle.